Okay. So after I was like, okay, God, okay, let's, whew, yeah, there we go. So let's do some inner work. Let's do some self-examination. Okay. The Lord asked me this question: what looks like me in your life? And I was like, oh, okay, there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot, right? And so I began to write down some notes. And I'm just going to read the notes. And I wrote, first thing I wrote, self examination. How can I pray for someone to be set free from something that I myself may also be dealing with? And I asked the Lord, where am I operating? Where am I operating in this, Lord? Where am I operating? Show me. Show me where, how I'm doing. What am I doing? Tell me, examine me. Let me examine me. And then as I examine me, you come in and tell me, where am I operating this? Because I want to know. I'm like, what? I want to know. Because I'm humble enough to know that I can't help anybody get rid of, do anything. I can't even pray effectively if I'm praying from the same place they are. They're dealing with it. You see what I'm saying? It's like if I'm a alcoholic, how can I go into another alcoholic and say, try and pray for you and heal you and help Lord, walk you through your freedom, your deliverance? I So the Lord said that to me. And I'm like, okay, Lord, all right, let's go. Let's do this, Jesus. Okay. So where am I? And I asked the question, where am I operating in this? And how do I fix it, Jesus? And I began to list out all the areas to respond to his question, what looks like me in your life? And the first thing I wrote was my heart, my prayer life, my love of the Father, my acknowledgement of you living and being the one true living God, my salvation and being set free, the way I live my life. I'm thinking all of these things. I'm like, what looks like Jesus in my life? How would somebody just getting to know me see, or somebody just encountering me know that Jesus, what looks like, what do I model that looks like Jesus, right? Without, and that's the thing, without me telling them, because he said what looks like, not what I'm telling you, what looks like Jesus, okay? So I'm sitting on downstairs and I'm sitting upstairs and I see me in the spirit start walking with Jesus. And as Jesus and I are walking down the streets of Tiberias together, Jesus asked me this question after I made that whole list. He says, how does your life look like me? And it's one thing when the Father asks you the question and you kind of feel like, oh, okay. But it's another when you walking down the street with Jesus and Jesus is saying, "How does what looks in your life looks like me?" You get confronted with the perfect what looks like me. You're right next to him. There ain't no getting. You know what I'm saying? You can't get away from him. It was like, well, immediately you like, well, Jesus, and that was away from me. I'm like, well, Jesus, you're perfect. You're beautiful. You're perfect. How am I supposed? What did I say? I said, Jesus, you're the perfect example. How can I ever hope to have my life look like you? You're beautiful and perfect in every way. I can only do my best. That's what I said. I can only do my best. And this is what Jesus said. I don't want your best. I want your heart. When I have your heart, I do the rest. And then he turned to me and he held up his hand. And in his hand was a hole in the shape of a heart. And he reaches out and he holds his hand out like this. And I reach out and I hold my hand and we do this as if to seal what he just said to me. I just want your heart and I'll do the rest. Guys, that was so wonderful. It was so wonderful. And it was so, freeing. It was so freeing because I'm still like doing the self-examination. I'm not saying that in that moment, everything like, I'm just saying that was what we needed to do to get everything really, truly moving, right? And so that was a freedom for me in a way to say, wait, I can't look like you on my own. I can only do my best. But he's like, no, I don't want your best. I want your heart. And so why I've stopped to deliver 3 videos to you guys is this. We can't pray for Alana and Tiberius or Israel or America or the world in anything. If we're dragging into the battle, if we're dragging into the fray, if we're dragging into our closets, if we're dragging into church, the same thing that we're praying for them against. So before we go warring on Israel's behalf, we got to stop. And we got to have that walk with Jesus. And we got to say, Lord, show me, tell me. He's already given us an answer, I truly believe, but walk it for yourself. He said, I just need your heart. So we have to pray. Yes, we pray for principalities. Yes, we tear down strongholds. Yes, we do all of these things for these people we're experiencing. But at the end of the day, we should be praying for their heart. Because we can remove one principality, and if there's no heart change, it can be replaced by another. You pray for idolatry to be removed from this region, and guess what comes? Rebellion, witchcraft, pornography, lust, greed. Something else will plop in its way. We must pray for heart change across the world. Because when we pray for a heart change, everything changes. We change, they change, everything changes. Because when Jesus gets our heart, he does the rest. So if you want to pray, we pray for heart change. Okay? That's all I have to say today. For now. Thank you for listening.